News. We welcome staff, students, and visitors to our broadcast. We begin our broadcast with the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Today is April 15th. It's a day 5 on a specialist schedule. A day orange for first, kindergarten, and kinder academy.
Here's today's hot lunch menu. Shrimp poppers with string cheese, sides, steamed broccoli, variety of fresh veggies with dip, fresh canned assorted fruit, fresh baked breadstick, Yum Box Dippity-Doo Yum Box.
Here's today's weather. It's going to be sunny and windy and high of 72 degrees.
Here are today's top stories. Today's Wild Guess Day. Have a good day to celebrate, to make a run bet with a friend. No money involved, of course. Or guess the answer, the riddle or competition.
Now for a joke. What is a horse's favorite sport?
What?
Stable tennis.
Oh, bad.
Please welcome Mrs. McDonald.
Thank you, and happy Friday, everyone. Lots of things going on today. Mrs. Godwin will be having some, and Mr. Bagley will be having some prizes given out at during your gym times, and she's going to get some help from some PTO parents. Also, are you talking about Color Run? Are you going to talk to your parents about it? There are posters all over the building. A brochure went home. And today, being a Friday, we have our Paw Pride winners. So, from Kinder Academy, we have Asher Caulfield from Mrs. Hanson, Lars Pfeiffer from Mrs. Kepsel, Brody Butorek from Mrs. Schroeder, Alexis Skinner from Mrs. Taylor-Thone. From kindergarten, we have Banu Curry from Mrs. Palmetier, Charlotte Bloom from Mrs. Frank, Natalie Karras from Mrs. Corinth, Rebecca Davison from Mrs. Van Bergen. From first grade, River Hammerlin from Mrs. Benson, Owen Grosskreutz from Mrs. Boulat, Sophie Barr from Mrs. Moore, Declan O'Connell from Mrs. Wilkinson, Kenzie Burke from Mrs. Williams. From second grade, Addison Murray from Mrs. Destraft, Blake Bauman from Mr. Gustafson, Evan Whiteman from Mrs. McMahon, and Brooke David from Ms. Vestal. From third grade, Ellie Rollins from Mrs. Heyer, Sonny Culbertson from Mrs. Swenson, Carson Moe from Mrs. Tellingheisen. From fourth and fifth grade, Emily Carrasco Diaz from Mrs. Aker, Kylie Hughes from Mrs. Constantine, Dominic Castagnetto from Mrs. Curtis. From Mrs. Henderson, there's Stephen Dragos. From Mrs. Meyer, Nolan Dunlay. From Mrs. Ottinger, Eddie Ruth. From Mrs. Torrey, Kylie Martin. And from Mr. Langerby and Mr. Davis is Nevaeh Daig. So if your name was called, you're going to come down to the office to get your prize. I'm really happy and impressed with the number of Roar All-Class tickets I'm giving out. Today, we will be doing some testing, but you still need to be quiet in the halls in those areas. And we'll start again on Monday with the fifth graders in reading. So thank you so much, and remember, if you get 5 of those pink slips from Mrs. McDonald, she has a prize for the whole class. Also, just want to make a special note and a thank you to some of those people who have, somebody went and straightened out the entire Lost and Found. I want to thank you. We have a new Lost and Found courtesy of Mrs. McMahon's husband, Mr. McMahon. So lots of exciting, fun, wonderful things going on. I really like how you're roaring with pride. Thanks, and make today a fantastic Friday. And oops, by the way, weather's nice, might have a fire drill. Be thinking about that.
Thank you for watching.
Our broadcast was brought to you by Jay Palma
Andy Johnson.
and on tech girl Kieran Becker. Have a great day at school. Remember to roar with pride. Roar!